Simply Christianity, Chapter 8. The Question of Leadership. Perhaps the most awkward aspect of Jesus' authority as the Christ, at least for us, was his insistence that men and women adopt his agenda over their own, or, in other words, to follow him as their leader. It must have been inspiring to hear him speak with such elegance and majesty. It must have been exciting to watch him mend the broken lives of the ill. It must have been comforting to hear him extend God's forgiveness to those around him. But how must it have felt to have this man walk up to you one day and say, "I want you to follow my lead from now on"? After this, Jesus went out and saw a tax collector named Levi sitting at the tax collecting booth. He said to him, "Follow me." And he got up, left everything, and followed him. Luke chapter 5, verses 27 to 28. Tax collectors in this culture were not the conservative, respectable, suit-wearing men and women of our modern tax office. They were often wealthy, unscrupulous, and decidedly unreligious businessmen who made their living by extracting taxes from their fellow countrymen on behalf of the hated Romans, and then creaming money off the top to keep for themselves. Following everyone else's agenda, let alone that of someone like Jesus, was under normal circumstances the last thing on a tax collector's mind. But along comes Jesus one day with a simple, "Follow me," and everything changes. It is difficult to know exactly what motivated Levi to drop everything and follow Christ. Perhaps he'd heard him preach before and had been struck by the clarity and reality of his words. Perhaps he'd just heard the rumours about one who could heal the sick and hand out God's mercy to all. Whatever Levi's reasons, his soul was captivated by Jesus' challenge. Luke's biography contains many, many examples of individuals like Levi, the irreligious and the religious alike, who hear Jesus demand to follow him and find themselves caught up in an entirely new life agenda. In fact, Luke's presentation of Jesus appears to move deliberately in this direction. It's as if Jesus wants his readers to realize that Jesus' authority as the Christ was not an intangible, distant reality, as if his life were a travelling circus we can enjoy from our seats, but one that touched human lives, personally, individually. I should probably add that, despite our modern assumptions to the contrary, taking up Christ's agenda did not mark the end of one person's freedom and fulfillment and the beginning of a one-dimension, slave-like existence. Far from it. Although Levi's decision to accept Christ's challenge would have meant some significant life changes, probably some quite difficult ones, it's worth pointing out that his first step in this new adventure was to throw a party for all his friends and associates, with Christ as the guest of honour. And Levi held a great feast for Jesus at his house, with a large crowd of tax collectors, and others were there as well, reclining at the table with them. Now the Pharisees and scribes complained to his disciples, "Why do you eat and drink with tax collectors and sinners?" That's Luke chapter 5, verses 29 to 30. According to this paragraph, if anyone's agenda was one-dimensional, it was that of the religious establishment, the Pharisees, the teachers of the law, or scribes, not Jesus. Jesus' agenda was something worth celebrating. Christ's captivating power to call on people to live by his agenda was not only an ancient phenomenon. Today, millions upon millions of people from 2,197 different language groups have heard the unsettling though exciting words, "Follow me," and have found themselves irresistibly drawn to do just that.